Alright guys, here we are with a short video on Asian Paints quarterly result. Quarter 1 financial year 2022. If you are a long-term investor, you really do not care for share price movement. What you care instead, the performance of the business. Just 4 days of a year when company declares its results, that's what you wait for. This is the time for Asian Paints. Let's waste no time, directly dive in. This is the quarterly result of Asian Paint Q1 financial year 2021. Now this Q1 basically includes 3 months, which is April, May and June. So we'll scroll down to see the update. So here is the result for Asian Paint. When we see the financial statement, we will find two statements. One is standalone and the other one is consolidated. Always we should look the consolidated statement to understand what is the performance of the overall business. Here we will start with unedited consolidated financial result for the quarter end. When we study the financial result of any company, we will see there are 3 columns. The first column will be current quarter, the result which has been published. The second one would be just a quarter previous to the current quarter. And the third one would be the same quarter last year. So this is the convention is generally used. So when we compare the result of this current quarter, we report the result with the last year same quarter. This is typically called YOY, year on year. Most of the news article that you see, it simply reports YOY result, which basically means this year, same quarter, how is the performance when compared with the same quarter last year. In YOY, we see the company has given an income of 5,675 crores approximately. And the same quarter last year, the result has been 29.70 odd crores. Just comparing year on year basis, we can see the jump on the revenue from this to this has been 91%. The next important part is the profit. If we scroll down a little bit, we can see the profit on the same comparison YOY basis. We see the last year, same quarter, the number has been 219 crores. In this quarter, Asian Paint has reported profit of 574 crores. So if we compare the profit of last year same quarter with the profit of current quarter, this has jumped by almost 1.62 times. This is a very high jump. Now if you open the news, this is what most of the news will tell you. The revenue has jumped by 91% and the profit has jumped 1.62 times year on year basis. Guys, we have to remember something very important here. The quarter with which we are comparing right now, it is 2020, which is a pandemic year. Just not only that, this quarter consisted April, May and June. Now, you remember this quarter has been the most disruptive quarter ever because this quarter was mostly affected by pandemic. The country went under lockdown and all the business almost went to numb. Obviously, when you compare the result of same quarter last year, the result is not that way comparable because last year the business didn't happen because of the lockdown, right? So these things we have to keep in mind that 91% jump we see, that is artificially inflated because of the nature of the quarter. Now if we scroll down a little bit, we can see the same information has been given by the company. When we see the major highlight from this result, we can see the same points here. The Asian Paint consolidated revenue from its operation for the quarter increased by 91%. Consolidated net profit for the quarter up by 161.5%. That's what we have already discussed, right? Now, here is a very important thing we must keep in mind. The company has also mentioned in the highlight, the domestic decorative business more than doubled its volume and delivered stellar revenue over lower base of the last year. Guys, very important here. What it is saying, it has doubled its volume. Now, for a business like Asian Paint, there could be two ways the revenue or the profit may jump. One is by volume. So whatever number of gallons the Asian Paint has sold, that may go up. And the other one could be the price of each gallon may also go up. So this way they have clearly mentioned that this growth has been led by the volume, which also supports what we have seen earlier, because the last year same quarter the volume was low, right? And this year the volume has doubled. So we can see the same thing here, the revenue over the lower base of the last quarter, which has suffered from the first national-wide lockdown. This is very, very important for us to understand. If we want to know more recent performance and if we want to compare, it would be a very good way to compare with the current quarter and the last quarter. Coming to this, you see the last quarter the company has reported 6,726 crores, and this quarter the revenue is 5,675 crores. So here we see a 15% of revenue drop. So if we see what is happening in the profit, the last year the company has reported 870 crores approximately, and this quarter the company has reported 574 crores. So from the profit of the last quarter and this quarter, we see a drop of profit by 34%. So guys, it would be very interesting to see what next quarter brings. So overall, compared to the last quarter, the result looks very good, very promising. Now in this case, we have to keep in mind the last quarter with which we are comparing. It may not be the best comparison, but overall the company has shown a very good result. And another thing we should keep in mind, in this quarter, there also has been some issue of the lockdown and the COVID second wave impact. And because of that, the revenue could be a little bit lower than the expected. So nothing to worry at this stage. We should keep an eye on the results coming forward. I hope you liked our video on this Asian Paint result. Thank you for watching this video. I'll catch you up on the next one. Signing off.